Red Deer's downtown core is one of the oldest parts in our city, dating back to Red Deer's beginnings in the early 1900s. Centrally located between Calgary and Edmonton, our population continues to grow, allowing us to sit as the third largest city in Alberta. Downtown Red Deer, however, isn't the attraction it once was. The introduction of the big box store has changed the way consumers shop, leaving downtown, a place many people only drive past, never stopping to enjoy. As the landscape of downtown changed, so did our perception. In 2012, Maclean's magazine deemed Red Deer the most dangerous city in Canada. Is this an accurate label to date? Do Red Deerians feel safe in our downtown? We asked you your opinion and gathered the facts, perceptions, and the potential stigma.
I walk in Coronation Park and along Kewaskusu Creek, and I usually feel safe. There have been a few incidences of other people. I haven't noticed it. And I feel safe walking downtown.
I feel like it's a little sketchy down there, like some of the people and everything. It's a little scary, like walking down there. Like I wouldn't walk down there like at nighttime or anything like that.
I've lived downtown for 7 years. I've gone for walks at 2 o'clock in the morning. Haven't run into any real problems.
Well, it's okay down there in daytime. I don't think it's very nice at night.
It was a vibrant downtown when the Bay was downtown and some of the bigger stores, but unfortunately they've moved to the malls, and I think that's what spoiled downtown Red Deer.
Hi, and welcome to What Matters Red Deer. I'm Jonna Semple, and this month we're exploring the Red Deerian perspective on the safety of downtown. We'll be hearing from a variety of locals, but first, to lay the foundation and to give us some facts, joining us from the RCMP is Corporal Leanne Molson. So, Corporal Molson, when we're talking about Red Deer in comparison to other cities of our size, how do we compare, when it comes to crime rates and things like that?
There really is no way to compare two cities. Every city is different, and every city has different things to offer to their residents. So it's not possible to compare two cities.
So when we're talking about incidents that happen in downtown, what type of incidents does the RCMP respond to?
Police respond to a variety of calls. There is not a marked difference from one area of the city to the other. As far as the downtown goes, there may be reports for service to anything from persons or property crimes, and that could include assaults, thefts, mischiefs. Specifically to the downtown, it may include panhandling or intoxicated persons.
And how do you ensure safety in the downtown? Are there different programs, or how many times you patrol, things like that?
The police do regular patrols of the downtown, and that includes in their marked police cars. We also have enhanced policing shifts, and those occur occasionally during the weekday, as well as every Friday and Saturday night. And with those enhanced shifts, it does include foot patrols in the downtown. We also have a community response unit within the RCMP, and those members within that unit have regular contact and interaction with the downtown businesses as well as agencies.
So enhanced patrol on the weekends, is that because you see more action on Saturdays and Fridays, that sort of thing?
Part of the reason for the enhanced patrols is just taking into consideration there are a variety of nightclubs that are in the downtown area, so not only focusing on the downtown, but that certainly is one of the reasons, because nightclubs, alcohol-related incidents, it does increase call volume.
And when we are talking about trends and offenders, is it mostly repeat offenders that you see, or are they people who are maybe traveling between the big cities because we are centrally located?
The offenders that we see, for the most part, are not traveling within between the two cities. The majority of crime that we do see within our community are those that have a history with the police and for the most part are living within this community.
So mostly repeat offenders, or at least people who are known by the police.
Correct.
And then just to wrap up, when we're talking about ensuring personal safety as well as the safety of our property, what do people need to know?
Well, there's a few different areas you can look at for personal safety, and that includes on your person when you're on your own, out and about, as well as vehicle and home safety. So to touch on personal safety, just some things to remember. If you are walking downtown, whether it be during the day or after hours, we just encourage people to be assertive when they are out and about, and that would include not walking with earbuds in. If you're going out after dark, staying in well-lit areas, say areas that are more traveled and visible to the public.
Just being aware of your surroundings as well as just common sense things that maybe people forget.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much, Corporal Mosen, for joining us today. Coming up, we talk to Sarah Cockrell with the city to find out more. From the city of Red Deer, we welcome Sarah Cockrell. Welcome. Thank you so much for being with us. Now, you're the Director of Community Services for the city of Red Deer. Can you explain what that job entails?
Well, I lead a team of people that are responsible for 4 divisions within the city, and that's Recreation, Parks and Culture, Social Planning, Transit, and RCMP. And together within those divisions, our staff work to create great spaces and great events and a safe environment in our downtown.
So your focus is mainly the downtown then?
We work throughout the city. The downtown is, of course, one of the city's important areas. It's vital to our economy, and we work to create nice streetscapes, parks, events, and, of course, safety and enforcement.
So is safety one of your main priorities when it comes to your job?
It is, and it's also a major priority for the citizens of Red Deer.
So what is the city doing to make downtown a desirable place to be?
Well, our downtown is exciting in the fact that relative to many other downtowns across Canada, we have new infrastructure. There's been a lot of work done on Little Gates in the past few years, and we have a greater downtown action plan that looks to make our downtown unique and diverse and vibrant. And so in order to do that, the city works to create events like the Red Deer Rally we recently hosted for the Canada Winter Games. We do Thursday events. The Culture Days are downtown. We try to encourage people to visit their downtown. There's some great businesses there that are a draw, and it just creates a sense of community.
Now, you mentioned the Greater Downtown Action Plan. Now, we've been talking a lot about revitalization of the downtown. Is revitalization a main focus?
Well, through all of our events and activities and bringing people downtown, it creates a sense of space and some ownership from the community. And I guess that could be seen as revitalization if it wasn't there before. We try to do our best to bring as many people as we can down into a space so that we can celebrate together. And that, I think, is revitalization.
And do you think that bringing people to the downtown, makes it a safer place to be?
Absolutely. The more people downtown, the more activity going on, the more people want to be part of their community in a positive way.
And do you think that our downtown here in Red Deer suffers from a negative perception?
I think that Red Deer has some really great qualities in the fact that we have steady growth and we have steady economic growth as well as community growth. With that comes a few social issues that a growing community has related to alcohol and drug abuse or substance addictions, street-involved people, and homelessness. And those people are often stigmatized, and the perception then is that it's unsafe. So I think that through our social planning department, we work with the community to ensure that people have the supports they need to change their situations and change what's going on with them as individuals. The greater community has a perception, I think, about what that means to our downtown. And I think if people just came down and enjoyed what we have to offer, they might realize that Red Deer's downtown is vibrant and it is changing.
So it's breaking that stigma and changing the perception that is really the important thing.
I think that you have to experience it. Come downtown, come to an event, go to a business. Nobody can convince you of that. You have to see it for yourself, and it is a safe place to be.
And for more information on different events or things that might be happening in our downtown, where can people find that?
they can go to the city's website or the Downtown Business Association website. There's always lots of things going on. The businesses are open. So come down, have lunch, and enjoy a patio or something like that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Coming up, staying safe through environmental design. We talked to Red Deerian Steve Rollrich. Steve Rollrich joins us now with Secure Consulting, and we continue to talk about downtown. So now your company works with the businesses all across central Alberta, and most interestingly, you consult with the city of Red Deer when it comes to downtown projects. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, it's a great opportunity. There's a lot of unique work going on downtown in Red Deer, specifically things that the city is doing, as well as the Downtown Business Association. We specialize in crime prevention through environmental design. So we look at different aspects of public space in this case and how it's being utilized.
So reducing crime through environmental design, can you tell us what that means?
Essentially, it's based on a methodology that incorporates a number of principles to find a good balance. So there's things like natural surveillance, for example, just that would create good sight lines and more eyes on the street. Good access control, territorial reinforcement, maintenance and activity support are the 5 key principles.
So there are, environmental strategies with, where placement and things go like that, that can prevent and reduce crime, correct?
Absolutely, it's just a case of good design and creating positive activity on the street.
So an example of that would be, avoiding creating narrow alleyways, dark places like that. Would that be an appropriate example?
Right, and some of the things I think that sometimes can lead to issues are old styles of architecture, where we have alcoves and stuff that are created, poor lighting conditions. Even landscaping can be a contributing factor. So.
And that brings me right to my next project, or my next topic, the Art Alley project. That recently just happened this summer. So when we're talking about those types of projects, how does art reduce crime in our downtown?
Well, art is a really good example. Like you say, Art Alley was a great project to be involved in, and that was driven through the Downtown Business Association. So when we're creating public art in spaces like a back alley, for example, it brings people to that space to look at the art, enjoy the art, talk about the art, and it just creates movement through that back alley. Even things like traffic calming occur for when vehicles are moving through the alley, because there's a tendency to slow down and look at the art and, hey, wow.
Right, that's a really good point. I never thought of something like that. So obviously you've been doing this for a number of years. What has been your experience with the Red Deer's downtown?
Well, I've seen a lot of changes downtown. I'm going to have to say most of them positive. The city of Red Deer, of course, has been very progressive. We're a city that is constantly, I think, on that cutting edge of design and good planning. We've got a bylaw that incorporates some of those crime prevention through environmental design principles into the bylaw, so that when we're looking at projects, we're looking at them very carefully through different lenses.
So do you think that there's a stigma when it comes to downtown Red Deer?
You hear a lot about that, and it's such a mixed bag, right? Mm-hmm. I really think we talk about perception being one's reality, and the fact of the matter is, I think there are some concerns certainly around safety, but whether or not they're really justified is the question, right?
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be talking about gender specifically with our next guest, Peter McGee, so stay tuned. Local business owner and special events programmer for the City of Red Deer joins us now. Thank you, Peter McGee, for being here. Can you tell us a little bit about what your job entails with the City of Red Deer?
Well, basically with the City of Red Deer, as you said, I'm a special events programmer. So I program the Best Summer Ever series, which includes about 15 weeks of events, 15 to 17 weeks of events downtown, as well as a couple out at Bower Ponds.
And those events, like you said, happen downtown, so you're very familiar with downtown Red Deer.
Yeah, I moved to Red Deer for this job, and basically I've spent the last 3 years hanging out downtown.
So you've been a Red Deerian for 3 years now?
3 years, yeah.
Now, you're the owner of the Velvet Olive. That's a business downtown.
Yes.
Do you think there is a safety concern when we're talking about Red Deer and the downtown core?
I would say that there is a safety concern, but there's no more concern than any day-to-day safety. Obviously, you know, when you're walking around in the evening, it's dark, you know, you could get hit by a car without any problems at all. There could be all sorts of things that happen that way. So you need to be aware. I don't think that the downtown Red Deer, I don't think that it's any more dangerous than anywhere else. I don't even believe that it's really any more dangerous than any other part of the city.
Right. Now, you kind of live and breathe downtown Red Deer almost. You have a business, you know, your job with the city revolves around downtown.
Yes.
Do you think someone who might not be as comfortable with downtown Red Deer might have the same perspective as you?
Well, I definitely know that there is a bit of a stigma out there for what the downtown is all about, and it's one of the reasons why things like the Ross Street patio have been installed to try and make it a more friendly place and more of a gathering place for the public and for people to come down and enjoy. And what you find when you do those things and you install those places for people to enjoy and to use positively, then you have a positive impact that follows that. And a lot of those not so friendly characters downtown won't be around there nearly as much. They start to move off of that area. Granted, they're going to find somewhere else to go, but they will move away from those areas that people are gathering.
Right, and you just mentioned the stigma. Why do you think there is a stigma that surrounds the downtown?
Now, again, being fairly new to Red Deer, in a sense of only being here for 3 years, from what I've heard in the past, the downtown was a rough place to be. Not only things, you know, your usual sort of social issues of homelessness and prostitution and drugs, but also lots of fighting and things like that were going on down there. So I could see that being something that it sticks with people. A negative story travels a lot farther than a positive story.
Right. Now, downtown safety concerns aren't gender specific. We took to Twitter and we had some great responses. So Sheena Johnson at Sheena Leanne says, I love downtown. We've had a business here for 7 years and had no major issues. Love the shops, people, and the sense of community. Michelle at Muse Clothing, she said, we have been open for 3.5 years downtown and never had an issue. Downtown has anything come a long way in the past few years. Karen Mann at RDK Mann says, I'm hoping Spirit keeps catching on and more businesses choose to set up shop. Great potential, #Red Deer. Tina C at Danger Pay 35 says, safe? Ha! What goes on behind the scenes in downtown Red Deer would seriously surprise everyone. We have a problem and no one cares. So to wrap up, what do you think, if anything, can change the people's perspective on downtown Red Deer?
Well, I think right now, and I talk to a lot of people in the city outside of downtown and all over, and there's a lot of people who say that they just don't go downtown anymore. And I think the big thing that we need to do is have those people come down and check it out again. With the addition of the murals in Art Alley, the ones down on the south end of Little Gates, the Ross Street patio, all the extra events that are happening down there, all those different pieces are all contributing to a positive effect down there, and I think people need to come down and see that it's happened and feel that effect to start to lose that stigma.
It's a revitalization, starting the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. You know, if you can't say that something happened to me 10 years ago down there and I'm never going to go back again. That's a very narrow-minded and scary way to think. So hopefully people will start to come back down and enjoy all the different little businesses that are down there, because there's a lot of very cool things happening downtown right now.
Well, thank you so much, Peter, for joining us and sharing your stories. That wraps up all the time we have for today's show. We hope you feel a little more informed on the downtown and want to experience it for yourself. For more information on events, you can visit our website, and don't forget to join in the conversation on Twitter with the #WhatMattersRD. I've been your host, Jonna Semple. Thanks for joining us.